something that I heard from ABC News. I heard it from CNN and others. Let me just use Don Lemon. Don Lemon and what's his face, Fever Boy over at CNN, Cuomo in the morning. He's
not on in the morning, by the way. He's on in the evenings now. That change, minor change, happened multiple years ago.
Well, that shows how much I'm watching him.
Exactly.
Anyway, so he comes out and he is like, "Look, I'm doing my patriotic thing by staying here at home and fighting this fever, and the president, he's not doing anything." And they took umbrage with the president saying that he was a cheerleader for the country, and they said this was irresponsible that he would do this. To express the optimism that he's going to reopen the country tonight. This, according to Don Lemon, we are closing in on 400,000 U.S. cases in the face. The president says he wants to be a cheerleader for the country. He's got one part of that right. It's leader, not cheerleader. Lemon reacted in his opening monologue, telling people what could happen and preparing for what is happening is what you're supposed to do. Yes, Americans, we need their president to give them hope, but we need the facts about what we're facing. Okay, so they took this, and I want to play the clip that they played last night all across the media. Here's the clip of Donald Trump.
You said within a couple of days the cases will be down to zero.
Well, the cases really didn't build up for a while, but you have to understand, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I don't want to create havoc and shock and everything else. I'm not going to go out and start screaming, this could happen, this could happen.
Okay, so that's what they played. So you would think, wait, that's what he said. That's awful. I mean, he's got to give us some facts. He's got to be doing something besides being a cheerleader, right? Here's the unedited version. Listen how much they cut out and what they cut out. Listen.
You said within a couple of days the cases will be down to zero.
Well, the cases really didn't build up for a while, but you have to understand, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I don't want to create havoc and shock and everything else, but ultimately, when I was saying that, I'm also closing it down. I obviously was concerned about it because I closed down our country to China, which was heavily infected. I then closed it down to Europe. That's a big move, closing it down from China and then closing it down from Europe and then ultimately closing it down to the UK. And it was right about that time. But I'm not going to go out and start screaming, this could happen, this could happen. So, again, as president, I think a president...
What do you think? What do you think? Was he just saying I'm a cheerleader and I'm just going to say, raw our team? No. He was saying I'm going to take the steps that were controversial at the time. The steps that the media blasted him on. I'm going to take those huge, massive steps to keep us safe. But I'm also not going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, millions could die. You got other people saying that. He's exactly right. The media is, Trump Derangement Syndrome doesn't go far enough. This is truly a deep mental illness. It really is. Because they want him to fail so badly, they will set the entire nation on fire. It's almost as if they want us at each other's throat at this time of pandemic instead of coming together. Instead of understanding that, yes, Roosevelt didn't come out and say, we could all die from the Nazis. He said, all we have to fear is fear itself. What is he, some kind of cheerleader? Yes, that's the point. That's what the president and a leader should be doing. Nobody wants to follow a leader that is like, hey, listen, we got to close down these borders. I got to close down China. I got to close down Europe because, whoa, Whoa, I've seen some numbers today. Holy cow, millions could die. What you want is, hey, I've talked to some doctors. This thing could be bad. I think we're going to be okay. We're taking really dramatic steps. We're closing China. We're closing our travel to Europe because we need to be safe. But this is going to pass. Which one do you want as a leader? Which one? The media should be ashamed of itself. And this is only one. Do you know that yesterday they were checking in to see if the president owned a stake in hydroxychloroquine?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that they wanted to know if he was making money on that? And they found out he does own a stake in that company. Yeah. He owns what could be as much as $10, could be as much as $1,300. So he could be making tens of dollars on that investment. As we speak, we don't even know. This is what this is what they took their time to look into. Meanwhile, CBS. Yesterday, they decided they would clarify that video of the nurse. Do we have the video of the nurse where she was crying, quitting? Okay, here she is quitting because the nurses aren't being protected.
I quit my job today. I went into work and I was assigned to a COVID patient on an ICU unit that has been converted to a designated COVID unit. None of the nurses are wearing masks, not even surgical masks, in the hallways when they're giving report to each other. I had my own N95 mask. I told my manager, I understand we're short on supplies, but let me protect myself. Let me feel safe. I have family that I have to come home to, and the way things are looking, this isn't gonna get any better. America is not prepared. And nurses are not being protected.
Okay, stop. This is serious. I mean, if this were true, this would be horrible. 9.5 million followers of CBS got that. And oh my gosh, we're not prepared. Look at this poor nurse. If this were true, we would need to know about it. But it's CBS's job to find out if it's true. Well, it wasn't true. In fact, she has mental issues. She hasn't worked at the hospital for about a year. She has mental issues, as clear by any of her other posts in social media. In other posts, she's singing about the coronavirus. She's like, oh, this is getting scary. I mean, she is unstable. CBS issued a retraction. The hospital, Northwestern Medicine, acknowledged that she had quit her job, but referred CBS News to Vera as to the details of why. So the hospital can't say why, can't say when. She hadn't worked there for a year. That's the only retraction from CBS. We don't know why. I don't know. You've just been duped. Don't you have it in your best interest to dig it out and find out how you were duped? No, because it already did its job. Now Howard Dean is saying he's boycotting MSNBC until the network stops airing the Trump pressers. Let me ask you, did NBC Radio dump the fireside chats? Did you dump those? Did you take those? This is the biggest crisis since the fireside chats. The president has experts with him. He's giving information every day. The Democrats want it to stop. Why? Because it's effective. Not because of any other reason other than politics. Not that there's not information there. There's plenty of information there. People are at home. They want to know what the truth is. Now, here's why MSNBC is already on the side of China and probably will dump those pressers. They're in bed with China. Universal is in the middle of getting ready to open a Universal theme park in China. You want to know why they're so supportive of China? Why they're taking China's side every single time? Because they got a theme park they need opened next month in China. That's why. That's why. Can you trust ABC? Can you trust any company that's giving you the news? Between their political bias and their being beholden to China, who's telling you the truth? It is so critical that we have sources that we trust.